Boston, the winningest sports city this century. Each championship deriving from a plan. Join us as we discuss the next Boston Banner Blueprint with your hosts, Josh Finkel, Nick Walsh, and Nate Philbrook.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Boston Banner Blueprint podcast. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It's Celtics playoff season. I can't wait to dive into this, but before we do that, send it over to Nate, and he's going to have a quick message for us.
Absolutely. We start every episode with letting everybody know exactly where to find us, and that starts on Twitter/X at Boston Banner BP, Boston Banner Blueprint on both Facebook and Instagram, and then Boston.banner.blue, BLU, on TikTok. Go ahead and like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, and share with all your friends and family on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. All of those things help us out tremendously. And then obviously sharing the episode gets us more views, and we greatly appreciate that. So go ahead and do all that for us, and let's kick this thing off. C's postseason preview.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's one of my favorite times of the year. The Celtics, they had a great season. But before we get into it, obviously Nick's not here. He's getting his first episode ban of the podcast because he had a rough night in the group chat the other day. He was just spewing nonsense. It was really tough to read, really tough to keep up on. I don't know what was going on in the land of Nick, but so yeah, he's not going to be on today. He'll be back on Monday or whenever we record next because my baseball schedule is just all over the place. I mean, especially in New England, northern New Hampshire, the weather is just unpredictable. I mean, it's like going to be, I think, 70 degrees tomorrow, and 3 days ago it snowed 5 inches. So like, just makes no sense. But the Boston Celtics, they're the 2 seed in the East. They finished 61-21, and I mean, that's pretty damn good considering their starters played 13 less games together than they did last year, and they had damn near the same record. They had multiple 7 or more game winning streaks. I mean, they really, you can't really ask for a better way to follow up a championship season. They finished right behind the Cavaliers at 6. They were 64-18. The Celtics, their offensive rating was 120.1, second in the league. Defensive rating 111.2, which was 5th. And their net rating was +9, which was 3rd in the NBA. Tony and Nate, talk about the season. What did you guys like? What did you not like? And what are we looking for in the playoffs?
I'll keep it short and sweet for you, PT, and then I'm going to throw it to you for a little bit more in-depth analysis. But, anytime you're coming off a banner season, you worry about the slump thereafter, right? You worry about the championship hangover or anything like that. And I just really don't think that this team showed any signs of that this year. It was all about health. It was all about making sure just getting the roster to the best position possible at this given time of year. And then we'll talk a little bit about Jaylen Brown's availability coming up. But it was all about health. It was all about just taking care of business in the season to put yourself in position for a deep playoff run.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more that the Celtics are in a position right now to be historic with going back to back. And as you said, when you come from a season winning the championship, you worry about that slump afterwards. And this team, as of right now, obviously disregarding, hopefully we don't get a playoff sweep somehow or we lose in the first or second round. That would be a horrific end to the season, but the team's avoided that. And I think the 2 major concerns, like coming into this year about repeating, was obviously that the team keeping the team together and staying healthy. And then the other one was if Al Horford was going to age poorly this offseason. And I don't think that's been the case. I think he's been a very serviceable player for what he needs. And also with the health concerns, I mean, we're a little bit banged up going into these playoffs right now, obviously with JB, a few other guys battling through some injuries. But what NBA team isn't at this point in the season? And I think with the first round matchup of the Magic, I won't get too ahead of ourselves here, but it'll be good tune-up for the team, I think.
Yeah, to that point, I mean, health is all relative at this point. I'm talking about a fairly healthy roster, and that's just because there's nobody that's sustained so far. Knock on wood. We'll knock on your placard behind you of the the team hasn't had any of those season-ending injuries or injuries that's going to hold these guys out for a prolonged period of time. So when we're talking about health, I think that's just the assumption at this point, is that you're going to have to be battling through something.
Yeah, and I think more specifically, going back to the Magic, Tony, you kind of hinted on them, but I think it's going to be a little bit tougher of a series than people think. The Celtics have struggled against the Magic the last couple of seasons in particular. I think they're right around 500, maybe a little bit above it, but it's not. I mean, it's not great for some reason. They haven't played great against them. Right here it says they split their season series. I think the Magic. I think there were only times though. I think the Magic won 2-1 versus Celtics. The Magic got banged up early. Both Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner, they suffered the same injury somehow, an oblique injury, so they were both out for a while. Jalen Suggs is out for the season, and Mo Wagner, Franz's brother, is out for the season. I mean, that's not too big of a loss, but I think they match up well. I mean, obviously the Celtics, they lead the league in three-point attempts and makes, but the Magic, they have a really strong perimeter defense, and they allow the fewest three-point attempts in the league. So that's, I mean, that PEMDAS for me, that kind of cancels each other out. Obviously, the Celtics, they're better than what I can read off of paper. I mean, they just chuck up threes at a historic rate. They have shooters all over the floor. I mean, they're going to drive and kick you to death. They got players like Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Drew Holiday. Sometimes, like, you drive and kick, those guys are going to hit open threes. And then the one thing that worries me on the Boston side is Jaylen Brown. We've seen him banged up going into a postseason before. Obviously, he missed, I think, the 2021 postseason. They only made it to the first round. They lost to Brooklyn because Jalen was out. But right now, it seems like he's going to be okay. He's going to be a full go. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of a down year for Jalen. What did you guys think? Not really. I don't know if down year is the way to put it, because he took steps forward in other categories like playmaking, and I mean, we always know that he's going to take pride in the defense, but it just feels like this year he even ticked it up a little bit more. But the scoring was down a little bit, and then obviously got banged up. But how do you guys feel about JB going into round one against the Magic?
So before we go, I did call for a quick little note there. You mentioned
Oh, sorry,
PEMDAS.
I didn't see you. Sorry.
You mentioned PEMDAS and the canceling out there. Can you please explain to our listeners what you're talking about there, and as much depth as possible?
Yeah. So PEMDAS is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So pretty much so for example, we're talking the Celtics playing the Magic. So Celtics, they shoot a whole bunch of threes, and the Magic are good at defending the three, and they don't give up a lot of threes. So therefore, those two things might cancel out in this series.
Is that what PEMDAS is for?
And the PEMDAS came in where?
Yeah, it was there.
What does it really stand for, Fink, when it comes to math?
If you read the fine print, it is there. It's there. But
As
I think
we know, the only co-host that reads the fine print is Nick, and he's not here. So
yeah, he is banned for a little bit, but we'll see when he gets out of jail. We'll probably have a graphic out that announces when he's going to be out of jail, but we'll get that out to you guys. But getting back to the Celtics, we'll work on the PEMDAS explanation for the next episode. I got a little bit of homework, I think, but shout out Littleton High School. Thank you guys for the PEMDAS knowledge. But I hit on it a little bit ago. Jalen Suggs being out for the Magic might not. If you don't know too much about the Magic, might not seem too big. But I mean, that guy is as gritty as they come. He's not going to score a bunch of points, but he's gonna defend you. He's gonna pick you up full court. He's gonna make the right plays. I mean, the guy hit a half court game winner at Gonzaga in March Madness. That thing. I mean, he's a winner. He wants to win, but obviously he's not playing. So I think a little bit of their identity they'll be missing. He's obviously been out for a while, so they have probably helped like shape the identity differently. But I mean, it's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be two of Duke's finest to come out of Duke. It's gonna be Paul Banchero going up against Jason Tatum, a man who has MVP aspirations, who honestly is my MVP, best player on the best team. I mean, he just gets better every year. I mean, this year he averaged, I think, 26.8 a game, 8.7 rebounds, and 6 assists. It felt like every time a team tried to throw a different defense at him, he had a counter. He can play make. If you don't double him, he'll take you to the post. He can finish. He can shoot. I mean, The 3-point shooting kind of fell off a little bit at the end again this year, but the jumper looked good. It looked much more smooth. The hitch was gone. And fun fact, he had the hitch apparently because he's double jointed in the elbow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Huh.
he's double jointed in the elbow, so that's why when he shot, it like came out and it was just like shooting inward. I guess I don't know. We'll roll the clip, but yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics definitely have the advantage on the inside though. Porzingis, I don't think there's a matchup, someone on the Magic that can match up with him. But yeah, I mean, the Celtics should handle it probably in 5 or 6. I think the Magic sneak one out. I think Franz Wagner and Paulo are good enough to win a game. Tony.
Yeah, so you hit on a lot of different points about the Celtics. I'll start with the Tatum thing. I 100% agree. He is not getting the love he deserves from the media, the voters for awards, and I think it's because he's on such a great team and the team around him. It's people are saying when you're on a team like this, you don't have to do as much. But for me, the biggest takeaway for Tatum this season, and thinking Nate, I don't know if you guys saw this with him, he just looks so much more confident, and like he doesn't seem like scared at all. Like I think winning that ring, it just alleviated all that pressure that he's had in the past, and I'm excited to see what he does in the playoffs with this pressure gone now. I think this guy could legit be a killer in the clutch. He's already been it, but I'm saying he's going to shut all those doubters down on this playoff run. I think I saw your finger go up.
You you said exactly what I was going to say. Is that it feels like that pressure was just lifted off his shoulders, and you can just see like he just. I love Jason Tatum, and you said it, Tony. The media disrespects him. Everyone disrespects him for no reason. The guy doesn't say a word. He plays basketball, takes care of his kid. I mean, he's an outstanding guy. He's done nothing wrong. He took care of his mom. They got out of St. Louis. Like, what more do you want from a guy? But he just gets no love. But I mean, Boston loves him. We all love him. Nate.
Well, you're talking about the importance of that title for Tatum, and just think about the importance of that title for the city of Boston. I mean, the timing of that title with the Patriots down bad for really the first time in decades for a sustained period of time. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox have been a perennial disappointment. The Bruins haven't been able to finish it off. And then you have the Celtics that just wipe the floor with their competition. And to your point, I mean, the long storied Boston athletes that have been here forever, the Bradys, the Ortizes, the Patrice Bergerons, they're not here anymore. And so it's Tatum's city now. He's been the leader of this organization that has taken them to the promised land that we all have come to expect as Boston fans. And so, yeah, I completely agree that I think the timing of this championship means just as much to Tatum as it does the ring itself.
And that's a really good point, and I haven't even thought about it like that. But that's why we have you here, Nate. I mean, you're the brains of the operation, so I appreciate that. But getting back to the Celtics, Derek White is amazing. Feels like anytime late in the game you need a bucket, he's going to provide it. He doesn't hesitate. Nate.
He just oozes winning. Did you guys see that he threw out the first pitch at the Red Sox game, and it was 2 years in a row that they've walked off when he's thrown out the first pitch?
The guy just wins, man. It's all he cares about. I mean, I love Derek White. He's awesome. 16.4 a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4.8 assists. You had Porzingis at about 20 a game, 7 rebounds, block and a half. I mean, this team is so deep. We haven't even talked about Peyton Pritchard. Haven't talked about Hauser. Pritchard averaged 14.3, shot 40.7% from 3, and the guy absolutely loves game 82. He averages, I think, like a 34-point triple-double the last 3 years in the last game of the season. It's pretty impressive. But, I mean, Peyton Pritchard's an absolute dog, and they're obviously led by Joe Mazzulla. I think one of the best in the business right now. Like, we talk about leader of men all the time. Tony, I see your finger. Go.
Oh, no, you're hitting on Derek White, and that's my favorite player. So I got to get in on this Derek White love for him. That is, when you talk about a championship blueprint and DNA, Derek White is a guy you got to absolutely have in that. I've always loved Derek White, but what made me now I'm always going to be a Derek White fan was in that finals when his tooth got chipped and messed up and he's bloody and all this. It's just, he's a warrior. That's who he is. And you need a guy like this on this team, especially when there's been the narrative that Tatum's a little bit of a softer player, which I don't necessarily agree with. But there's been that narrative. So having a guy like Derek White in the locker room locker room to help lead these guys. He's been in the big games. He's not afraid of the big shot himself. He's just awesome.
Yeah, warrior is not really a word that you describe a whole lot of NBA players these days. And so I think you're exactly right. And that's something that, to that point, it's rare in these days, but something that's really needed when it comes down to playing 82 games plus.
Yeah, there's not many guys that do it. Mikal Bridges is one of them. Derek White. I mean, he'll miss a game here and there, but it's for good reason. I mean, I think the first game he missed as a Celtic was because he had a kid. So, like, I mean, pretty good excuse. I mean, the guy's had
But
teeth
then
knocked
you have to
out.
ask about how committed he is to the team.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Jesus Christ. 98.5, if you're listening, Derek White's not too committed when he leaves to have a kid, just like Alex Bregman. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus.
you're the dude. You don't even you're just there to hold somebody's hand. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
What do you need? Why do you need to be there? It's kind of ridiculous, but hey,
Yeah.
whatever. It's their life. I mean, it's how they want to drive their
Baby won't
legacy.
even remember it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know who was at my birth, but sure. But back to Joe Mazzulla, like I was saying, I think he's one of the best in the business right now. We, as a Blueprint, talk about being able to lead men and stuff like that all the time, just in having championship aspirations. And Joe Mazzulla is a absolute fucking dog. Like, he does not care about a thing. All he cares about is just getting to whatever goal that the Celtics have set. I mean, I don't even know how to describe him. He is awesome. He's a warrior, Nate.
I was just thinking while you were saying that out of the four head coaches slash managers of our Boston sports, you guys both know, and our listeners know, I'm not the biggest Celtics guy, but Joe Mazzulla, in terms of ranks of the top four head coaches in Boston, he's probably number one. I mean,
Oh
he is
yeah,
just a soundbite or a headline every time he talks. He is awesome.
yeah. A few months ago, my rankings would have been Missoula, Cora. That's it. But now I think it's Missoula, Vrabel, Cora. But it's close, 2 and 3.
Ooh,
I really like
that's
Vrabel, man.
interesting to me about the core
I
moving
just
down thing.
I just like the mindset that Missoula and Vrabel have. It's just they're dogs, man. They don't care. You get knocked down, get up and punch them back harder. Like, keep putting in the work. Good things are gonna happen to those who work hard, and that's exactly what the Celtics did. That's what the Pats are gonna do. I mean, you can already see it. Milton Williams was on a thing today, but we don't need to get into the
Yeah.
Patriots. So.
No,
Everybody
when you
made
talk
fun
about
of Dan Campbell when he was talking about biting kneecaps, but look how it turned out for
Exactly.
the Lions. So
Exactly. That's how you gotta be.
Joe Mazzulla is I don't know if I've seen a coach like him, just the way he does things and how he even interacts with fans and the whole Boston area. He wanted to learn the history when he came here. He did all this research on Boston. He took a tour through Boston on the duck boats. He's really involved in like the culture of Boston. And I just remember when they won the championship and he was going around with the trophy everywhere. He was coming to all these different cities, coming to the bars, just hanging out with people, shooting the shit. And that's the kind of coach he is. And I loved when he did he try to swat a ball or block a ball from a player shooting it? Like, what coach
yep.
does that? Come
Yeah,
on,
he
what
tried to
coach is
block
doing
him.
that?
He
Yeah,
said he wanted
that
players to do it, but he said he had to because he doesn't want him getting up a free shot.
I
yeah.
don't
Well, I
think
don't know any coach that's
Popovich is
doing
doing
that.
that anytime soon.
Yeah,
No,
definitely not.
but Missoula, he's got that championship experience now. I think he's a great coach. I'd say he's even as young as he is, he's got to be a top 5 coach in the NBA. And a lot of people say coaches don't matter as much in the NBA, but when you have a really good one, they do matter, and they know how to manage players and relationships in the locker room. And he's done a great job of that too. And one last thing with him is they just had him on the Yak, and I don't know if you guys have seen what his favorite movie is the Town. He like rewatches that or whatever. But he has another movie that's coming out that it's kind of funny to me that this is the one that he wants to see, because I could never see Joe Mazzulla as this kind of a job. Is he wants to see The Accountant 2, which have you ever seen The Accountant 1? It's a phenomenal movie. But he says he can't wait to see that one when it comes out with I'm blanking on the actor's name that plays in it, but
Affleck, right?
yes, thank you. Affleck's in it. But yeah, so I think he's a big Affleck fan too, because Affleck's in The Town, so makes sense.
But yeah, getting back to the Celtics and more specifically this season, they took care of business against the top teams. Cavs came into Boston early in the year on a 17-game win streak. They were 17-0. Celtics handled them. They all wore black. Like, this team gets up for big games, big moments. They're battle tested, been through it. They were 4-0 against the Knicks. They won the season series against the Bucks. I mean, I think they won the season series against every East team besides like the Magic. Um, but yeah, I mean, expectations are high. They should be. I'm excited. I can't wait for Sunday playoff basketball. Watching it, watching it is very fun, especially when it's at the TD Garden. That place is always ripping. I'm just excited. Tony, you going to any games?
Yeah, if the tickets didn't cost a G each, I'd go. But you know, I've been to one Celtics playoff game and it was awesome. It was the Heat series 3 years ago when we ended up losing to them. And oh wait, sorry, no, we ended up winning that series. This is when we went and lost to Golden State in the finals. But so I think what were you asking about Sunday? Just if I got any tickets? Yeah, I can't afford those, man. Maybe if the Easter Bunny leaves me one, I'll go. Only way though.
Well, I have a surprise for you because me and you are going on Sunday. I have an extra ticket and I want to take you. So we're gonna go to
Yeah.
the game. We'll post some content at the game. It's gonna be very, very fun. I'm
Is
excited. I'll
this
be wearing my Jalen Brown jersey. But yeah, I'm excited for that. But I'll send you the information later. So getting back into things, the Celtics, we've said it a million times now. They're playing the Magic. It'll start on Sunday at TD Garden. This year, the Magic finished seventh in the East at 41 and 41. They were second in points per game at 120 even. They're first in rebounding at 54 game. The Celtics are not a great rebounding team. They were second in assists per game at 29, and they were second in opponents' points per game at 95. So pretty good basketball team. Obviously, they had the injury bug early, so it was kind of tough to kind of find a groove, I guess. But Tony, let's talk about the Magic and who you're looking out for.
Yeah, so I'll pose a question to you guys and then I'll answer it once I hear what you guys got to say. On the Magic's roster, who's the one player that you think could swing this series somehow? If there's a way for the Magic to win, who's it going to be through?
Nate, do you want to go first?
Paolo Banchero, and that is how you say it, Fink.
It is.
Paulo Banchero.
There you go. Paolo Banchero. So, I mean, 6'10", 22-year-old out of Duke, as you mentioned earlier. But, physically, any guy that's going to match up with Tatum, it's a guy like that. And then it's a guy that they were pretty reliant on throughout the season to be their balance guy. He averaged just shy of 26 points per game. He had 7.5 rebounds, 4.8 assists a game. He's, like I said, 6'10", 250 pounds. But he's a guy that very, very young, very raw still, that it's these playoff lights, it's these playoff moments that make or break superstardom. And so if this is a time that he then rises to the occasion and balls out, he's a player that I think could kind of wreak some havoc for the Celtics in the sense of both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, that he can impact both ways. We always talk about defense winning championships regardless of the sport, and so that's where I think the biggest cause for concern is with the Celtics in this particular series.
Yeah, for me, it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I mean, he's been through the ringer. He's been in the NBA since 2011. He's got a championship. He's played with LeBron. He's played with Jokic. He's got championship experience. He can hit the three ball. He defends, brings a lot of energy. I mean, the guy played an NBA game with an ankle monitor on, so that's pretty sick. Like, he's got that dog mentality. But he shot 34% from three this year, averaged like 8.2 points a game. But if he gets hot, he can definitely change a game, maybe a series. I don't know if he can get hot for a series, but I mean, if you drive and kick with Paulo or Franz, and you kick it out to a guy who can shoot like KCP, I mean, we'll see what happens. Celtics, though, they defend at a high clip. They got length everywhere, so I think it should be an easy 4-1 series for the Celtics. Get their feet wet, but that's just my prediction.
Yeah, I like the player picks because I think one thing the Magic is they are talented. They're a very talented team, but what they aren't is they're not experienced. They're all super young, 22, 24-year-old guys. I think someone's even 21 on the roster. I don't know why I'm blanking who's 21, but super young team. And Fink picks. Thank you, Fink. Fink picked the one guy that's like the older veteran leadership guy in the group with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So I think that's an interesting answer. Paulo, obviously, he's a superstar stud that does match up very well with Tatum. But I'm going with the guy that I think off the bench could cause us some issues,
I know who
and
you're
it's
gonna
Cole.
say.
It's Cole Anthony. The guy, he can spark it sometimes, and I think if he got hot for a series, that could cause some serious problems. It's like one of those little pesky guys that you want it to go away, but they just won't go away, and that's what he can be. He'll knock down some big time shots, and then he'll also go extremely cold too. So I think it's really going to depend what Cole Anthony we get this series, and I think even with him on, the most they win is 2 games. I honestly do see a sweep versus the Magic. I think this team is going to be dialed in off the bat, so I'm going to say a 4-0 sweep for the Celtics in round 1.
And
Yeah,
Cole
no,
Anthony went where?
I have no clue where he went to college.
UNC.
Correct. And
Really?
he played on the team 2 years ago that was the 10 seed that then went to the Final Four to play Duke. And so he has big game experience. He was their offensive leader with I'm forgetting the other big man's name right now. He's in the G League right now. But anyway, what's that?
Armando Bacot.
Armando Bacot, thank you. Yeah, on the defensive side. But Cole Anthony, he helped lead that UNC team to a deep tournament run in which they were certainly outmatched in some of their later season games, and he certainly rose to the occasion.
What's your guys' prediction? I know, Tony, you said sweep. Nate, what's your prediction?
I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to say it's going to go 6 games. Still pretty handily, but like I said, defensive efficiency during this time of year is always going to upset some fans and some teams of modern day NBA basketball. So I think it's going to be a really interesting juxtaposition. How's that for a vocab word for you, PT?
I like that. I do know that one too, though. That's like, yeah.
So I guess it's time to dive into the Eastern Conference side of the bracket. Who won the play-in between the Heat and the Bulls? The Heat won, right? Or has that happened? On here, it hasn't happened. Let me double check.
I don't even know. Let
The
me check.
NBA website.
Don't they play today?
Do they play today? Yeah, they do. So the Cavs will play the winner of the Heat and the Bulls. Sorry about that.
No
The
worries.
Pacers and the Bucks play on the 4 and the 5. The Knicks play the Pistons, the 3 and 6 matchup, and obviously our Celtics, they will have the Magic in the 2 and 7. But going back to the Pacers and the Bucks, I think this is going to be a fairly solid series. Dame is cleared to play. I'm not sure when he's going to play, but that obviously will change things for the Bucks. They have Kuzma now. They have Kevin Porter Jr. They have Giannis. So this could be a series for them. Tony, I think your finger went up.
Yeah, no, you just asked when Dame's going to be cleared to play, and it is crazy to me that he's back already because no one who has this has come back within 6 months. It's at least a 6-month stay, but it is a little bit different than Wemby's. His was in his leg. Wemby's was in his shoulder. So I don't know the whole logistics between it, but when he's 100% not going to be playing game 1, and they're saying right now potential for game 2, but game 3 Dame would be back for. So they'd miss him for most likely the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, and on the Pacers side, Halliburton obviously kind of had a down year, but this team made a deep run last year. They have Siakam. He has a championship. He has a lot of experience. They have a good coach, really good offense. I think the Pacers are kind of a dark horse. I think I could see them making a run again. They have some dogs on that team. They can get hot at the right time. We saw it last year in the Bucks. I mean, it's been a down year for them. I don't even know. They should have never fired Darvin Ham, I think. They started so hot last year, and then it's just been awful since. Nate, what do you think? What's happening in this Pacers-Bucks series?
I'm going 4-1 Pacers here.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I just think it's going to be too much to handle without Dame. Giannis is the Greek freak in every sense of the word, but it is just one guy. And so, to your point, I think that Pacers are going to come out with a little bit of fire here.
Fuck yeah, Tony.
I fucking hate the Pacers. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hate the Pacers. I don't like Tyrese Halliburton. I don't like anything about him. Is he a great player? Yeah, he can be a great player. I'll tell you who is. Huh?
I don't know if you can call him great. He's good.
He can be great. I said
He's
he
better
can be
than
great.
me.
Yeah. But and the guy that really pisses me off on that team is TJ McConnell. I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's such a
And that's just someone I don't want to play in a series at all. I don't like the Pacers. I think would make quick work of them. But they're just a team that kind of hangs around, and sometimes they can be a problem. So I don't want to play the Pacers, and I don't think they're going to win the series. I think Giannis is going to be prime Giannis enough to get them to 7 games. And I think Dame by the 7th game, if he say he comes back game 3 or game 4, he's going to be in a good enough shape to help him close it out. So I'm going to say it's going to go 7 games, and the Bucks will win in 7.
I think the Pacers win in 6. I think Dame comes back, and I mean it's not going to be what people might expect. He's missed a lot of time. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think I hate the Pacers too, Tony. But I hate the Bucks even more. I think the Pacers win in 6. Yeah. So moving on, Knicks and Pistons. My initial thoughts are that Cade Cunningham could win this series for the Pistons. I think he's good enough. I think the Pistons just don't have any playoff experience. Obviously, they've been in like the bottom of the East for a while, and then this year things started clicking. They got a good big man. They can shoot the three. They gave Cade Cunningham shooters around him so he can get inside, drive around, and I mean, guy had multiple triple doubles just in the first half this year alone. So I think it could be an interesting matchup for the Knicks. I mean, they pretty much took care of the East. They couldn't beat the Celtics, and they didn't play well against the Cavs, but everyone else they pretty much cleaned up on. But Tony, what are you thinking?
I think you just gave a great take with saying that Cade Cunningham could beat them by themselves. I think Cade Cunningham is that good of a player. I think the Pistons in the next 3 years could be right with the Celtics and competing for conference championship, which is crazy to say because the Pistons my entire life have been dog shit. So, yeah, what's up, thing?
Mind you, they're doing this without Jaden Ivey as well. He got hurt early
Mm.
in the year, and Jaden Ivey is also a damn good player. He's young too. He and Cade are fun to watch. But back to you, Tony.
So the Knicks, they haven't beat anyone that matters. Jalen Brunson, not the same as he was last year, really. Still playing at a high level, obviously, but this team just they feel dead. Like and I think they're gonna lose in the first round to the Pistons. 6 games for me. How about you, Nate?
I'm saying this one goes the distance and goes 7. I think this one goes 7, and I think that the Knicks end up taking care of business. So I hear you on that take, and certainly that's going to play an important role next round. But I think for this first round, talent just wins out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to go 7 as well. I'm not exactly sure which way I'm leaning. I don't want to pull the card and say actually both Nick cards, Nick Walsh and Nick the New York Knicks, but and say health because the Knicks. I mean, last year we saw it. Everyone got hurt. Tibbs runs these guys into the ground. He's going to trust his guys, and that's great. But I mean, we saw it this year. Michael Bridges said, "Hey, can you play the bench a little bit more?" Like, I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. Like, not because he wanted to break, but it's like they got Deuce McBride. They got some talent on the bench. Get him in there because you're going to need more than 5-6 guys in the playoffs. Like, hopefully they learn from last year. But I mean, the Pacers. We saw their core last year kind of hit the ground running in the playoffs. They got hot. This was like their first real taste of it last year. They got hot and they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and played the Celtics. And I mean, that's a tough team to play in your first little taste of it with that new core and that head coach. But so I think I could see the Pistons doing the same thing. And I mean, I keep going back to Cade Cunningham. I think he's going to be the best player in this series. I think Cat could be the difference maker in the series. But I'm going to say Pistons in 7. That's my take.
I
Going
like that
down,
pick.
we already talked about the Celtics.
One of you
So
better be writing this down so that when I am correct in all of these, that we can show some praise.
you know what? The best
We'll
thing
pull the
about
clips back.
it's already written down right here in the video.
Video
No, we should have written
evidence.
it down though. We could make like a little post about it. All right, but going back up, we don't know who the Cavs are going to play. It's going to be either the Bulls or the Heat. If I had to guess, the Bulls are going to win tonight. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
I agree with the Bulls winning.
And then obviously the Cavs would lose to the Bulls in round 1 and 6, right?
In 6 games, the Bulls are going to take the Cavs down.
I have the Bulls in 6 over the Cavs. What do you guys have?
Cavs in 5.
Cavs in 5. Agreed.
Do Do you want to touch on the West, or do you want to leave it alone?
You know what? Why don't you just highlight the matchups and
All right,
for the
so
first round?
the Thunder are the first seed. They're going to play the winner of the Mavs and the Kings, I believe.
Talk about a franchise that's dead inside. I mean, the Mavericks and the Mavericks fan base, more importantly, my goodness, they are still taking things pretty hard.
Yeah, I think
Understandably so.
that's a great point about this Mavericks franchise. I think this play-in means a freaking lot to these guys. They have to get in the playoffs, especially what their GM said, that their window is the next 2 to 3 years to win. And if your window is the next 2 to 3 years to win, and you're about to not even make the playoffs in one of your window years, supposedly for trading for AD, after you just traded away a generational player in Luka Doncic, it's ludicrous. Like there's no other way to put that. And they better make the playoffs. And what they do, what's going to happen? They're going to lose in who they get matched up with, the Thunder. Right? They'll be matched up with Thunder. Well, what is the Mavericks team going to do against that team?
I will say, fully healthy, it would have been a pretty good series with Kyrie, AD. I mean, could have been a good series.
Very true.
But they're not healthy, so it doesn't matter. Moving down, it's the Nuggets and the Clippers. That'll be probably the Nuggets advancing, but I mean, Kawhi's been playing well. Norman Powell can shoot it. They got Zubac, who matches up, I think, fairly well with Jokic. He's not going to score or do the fun offensive things like Jokic does, but he's a big boy down there. He rebounds. He'll work hard against Jokic. What do you guys see happening here?
Nugs in 5. I think he takes care of business pretty quick.
The Nuggets.
Gotta remember though, they fired their head coach,
which is weird.
Very weird.
I still don't get that one.
GM and the coach weren't meshing, so the owner was like, "Fuck you both, you're both gone, and we're just gonna redo this thing and try and like light a spark under our players right before the playoffs. Then go through a playoff run with that, and then do it in the off season." So I mean, I don't know if I agree with it, but I understand his thinking. I think.
I understand the thinking, but it's crazy. You just can't do it, right? To me, the only thing is, and I understand he just kind of wanted to clean house because of the relationship between the GM and the coach, but you can't do it right there. You got to wait till after this season plays out because he has a championship ring, he has playoff experience. At least let him coach this team and give them a fair shot to win another. And then if they don't produce, then you can can the guy the year after. But because of that, and
developed Jokic, he's been there for 10 years, and you get rid of him now.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you, Frank, on that.
Keep going.
But you were highlighting the Clippers, some of their players, but you didn't mention James Harden and how good of a season he had, and he's getting all NBA votes, which is kind of crazy. He's getting votes for it, but he might make an all NBA third team, and he's been pretty great this year on that Clippers team. So I think it's going to be a series, but I think the best player in the world right now, Jokic, is gonna get it done in 5 to 6 games. I'm gonna stick with 6 though. That's my pick. 6 games. Nuggets.
Yeah, mine is Clippers in 6. Moving down further, it is the Lakers. They are the 3 seed. They're gonna be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who, fun fact, the Minnesota Timberwolves CEO CEO, right? Yeah, CEO graduated from Colby Sawyer.
Yes. Do we know his name?
Ethan Kaysen.
Good shout out.
Yeah, good guy. Talked to him a few times. But yeah, so this one, I mean, the Lakers, they obviously got that generational talent, and would you call it Luka Doncic? I think that's how you said it. Luka Doncic. Yeah, he's a Laker now. Nick said he wanted to see early in the year how they or not early in the year, when the trade happened, how they all meshed. Well, they meshed pretty damn good because they're now the 3 seed in the West. They won over 50 games. That was JJ Redick's goal in year 1. They hit that. They're playing the Timberwolves, who traded away Karl Anthony Towns in the offseason and really did not have an identity all year. Anthony Edwards was calling out teammates for the first quarter of the year, I would say. He wasn't being a leader, but I mean, he doesn't really need to be. He's 22 years old. He'll grow into that. But I mean, we saw it last year. Anthony Edwards is a damn good player, and he could win a series. I just don't see it happening against a team that has LeBron James, and LeBron's not even the best player on the team. And that's why I say Lakers in 5.
So full transparency, I picked the Timberwolves were my pick to come out of the West before the season started. That's who I thought was going to be the new kids on the block. I thought they were going to play the Celtics, and I thought they were going to lose to us in the finals. But how the season's panned out. I don't know if you remember that series they did on Netflix. I can't remember what it was called. The basketball one with starting five. I think it's pretty funny how in that video when they introduce Anthony Edwards, one of the first things he says is, "Of course, I want to cook LeBron 1-on-1." And now he's going to get that not to play 1-on-1, but he gets a chance in a 7-game series to take down one of the guys he looks up to in the NBA. And I think it's going to be an awesome series. I think it's going to go 7 games. But I think the NBA is going to get what they want, and the Lakers are going to move on because I think in the end of the day, they're going to give LeBron and the big market team the calls when it matters most. And I know I'm projecting a little bit, but I think they'd rather a Lakers-Celtics matchup in the finals than a Timberwolves Celtics matchup when it's in Minnesota. So I'm just going Lakers on that in 7.
And then they do the same thing as last year. Everyone knows who's going to win. It's Celtics in 4 or 5. Like, people are going to try and make the argument like they did for the Mavericks, and then it's just not going to go well. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see the Nate, what do you think?
I already had Lakers in 5.
Yeah, so, yeah, Lakers in 5 shouldn't be too hard for them. I know LeBron is the GOAT, and that's what I think. Warriors and Rockets. The Rockets, man, second year with head coach Ime Udoka. Not sure who he is, never heard of him before, but seems to be a pretty good coach, and he's coaching this Rockets team. They got a lot of good players: Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore. I mean, they got everyone. They got a good rookie in Reed Shepard. He didn't have a great rookie year, didn't really play much because he didn't really need it, but he'll be coming in a few years. They just have a lot of depth, man. A good coach, and I think this Rockets team is really, really good. But so are the Warriors, and so are the Warriors since they've gotten Jimmy Butler, and we saw it in the play-in. He had 38 points. He was their leading scorer. They also have Steph Curry. He's been brilliant this year again. I mean, the guy who makes me think the Rockets win, though, is Steve Kerr. He's been awful. He had Curry off the floor late in the year for a game-winning attempt, gave it to Buddy Hield, and he bricked it off the side of the freaking backboard. Like, got the best shooter of all time sitting on the bench, and you've coached him for, 12 years now? How do you not have a play at the end of the game for him? Like, what are you doing? But, Tony, talk about it, and then we'll round it back out to me, and I'll give my prediction.
Sure. So, going into this series, Rockets clearly had the better regular season record. And you got to give the experience to this Warriors team with Draymond, Curry, Butler, all having not just playoff.
Looney has 4 rings.
Yeah, not just playoff experience, but finals experience. Rocket team, extremely young too, kind of like a Pistons team, but obviously with a lot better of a record. A pretty great head coach, track record wise of the teams he's done. He did a great job turning the Rockets around. But I see the Warriors winning the series in 6 games just on experience alone. And I know that's be a big upset. Oh, you're calling cap? He's calling cap on it. Oh no. Oh, he likes that. He likes that. Okay. Yeah. But I can just see that Batman and Robin dynamic between Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry in full effect versus the Rockets here. And I think they'll get it done in 6. How about you, Nate?
I'm going Rockets in 6 for the same reason that I just talked about with the Knicks of, they're a young team still finding themselves, particularly at this time of year, but it's a team that I just think the NBA is too predictable in the sense of talent wins early in the early matchups. And for all the players that Fink just named, I just think too young, too talented, too deep for this Warriors team to match up.
Another guy I forgot to mention is Dylan Brooks, and that guy plays with an edge every single game. He's going to pick you up. He's going to guard your best player. He's going to shit talk you. He's going to say he's better than LeBron. He's going to do all these things, and if it gets to you, then you're probably going to lose the series. Yeah, he is, but if he gets to you and he gets to people, you're going to lose the series. But I have Warriors in 7. I like Nate's take on that talent wins early, but Steph Curry is above talent. Steph Curry has been through the fucking ringer. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. He's got Jimmy Butler. They still have Draymond. I mean, it's gonna be a toss up, I think. But my gut tells me Warriors in 7 just because the experience. and because of Steph Curry.
Big, you just mentioned Draymond there. Now, that guy's the ultimate. He can fuck with you physically and mentally. Kick you in the nuts one play, and then stand over you and talk shit right after that. So they each got one guy like that can cause problems.
Yeah, so that's my prediction is Warriors in 7, and that rounds out the first round of the playoffs. So hopefully not hopefully, the Celtics are going to advance, and then we'll do a round 2 preview, and we'll get that out to you guys as soon as possible. But what are you guys thinking? Final thoughts time?
I think Celtics going to win on Easter Sunday, start 1-0, and sweep the Magic. So that's my final thought on that.
Nate?
I also have the C's winning on Easter Sunday, taking care of business at home, and starting the playoffs hot.
My final thought is actually a question for our fans: is how far are the Celtics going to go? For me, I think they're going to win it all again. They're going to go back to back, and then we'll see what happens in the offseason. But obviously, it starts Sunday. Got to start 1-0 if you want to win 16 playoff games. So got to get that first one. And yeah, I'm excited. Like I said a couple times, playoff basketball is one of my favorite times of the year. So go Celtics. And before we go, Nate, I think you have a quick message for us.
Yeah, of course. So if you like this episode, go like, subscribe, and rate 5 stars on whatever platform you listen to us on. Go ahead and follow us on all the socials at Boston Banner BP on Twitter/X, Boston Banner Blueprint on both Facebook and Instagram, and then Boston.banner.blu for Blueprint on TikTok. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and rate 5 stars.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Peace.